Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nocturnal Mysteries. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit chilling: doppelgangers. The word itself sounds ominous, doesn't it? Doppelganger, German for double walker, refers to a non-biologically related look-alike of a living person, essentially someone who looks exactly like you walking around on this very planet. Now, the concept of a doppelganger is deeply rooted in folklore and mythology. They're often seen as omens, sometimes good, but far more often bad. So, are they hostile, friendly, indifferent? Well, that's the million-dollar question. There's no definitive answer, and that's part of what makes them so unsettling. In some traditions, they're simply shadows, echoes of ourselves. In others, they're harbingers of misfortune, illness, or even death. But what can happen if you actually see your doppelganger? Again, lore is all over the place. Some believe it's a warning to change your ways, that you're on a destructive path. Others say it's a sign of impending doom, a grim reaper in disguise ready to whisk you away to the afterlife. And some people just chalk it up to mistaken identity. But what if it's more than that? Let's delve into some real-life stories, or at least alleged real-life stories, of doppelganger encounters. Remember, these are anecdotes, often passed down through generations, so take them with a grain of salt. But also, maybe keep the lights on. Our first story takes us to one of the most famous and likely fictitious encounters with a doppelganger. Legend has it that in the 1890s, a Parisian woman, Madame Émilie Saget, worked as a teacher in a prestigious boarding school. However, she was plagued by a bizarre phenomenon. One day, while teaching a class, Emily's double appeared beside her, mimicking her movements perfectly. The students were terrified. This happened repeatedly, sometimes with the doppelganger appearing translucent or slightly out of sync. The incidents became so frequent and disruptive that Emily was eventually forced to leave the school, and multiple other schools as well. It was said her doppelganger followed her everywhere. One of the most famous and chilling accounts involves none other than President Abraham Lincoln. Supposedly, just before his assassination, Lincoln experienced a vision of himself. His wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, described it in detail. He saw a double image of himself in the mirror. One image was pale and ghostly, while the other was his normal reflection. Mary took this as a terrible omen, believing the paler reflection represented Lincoln's impending death. Whether this account is entirely accurate or embellished over time, it adds to the mystique and dread often associated with doppelgangers. So what's the deal with these lookalikes? Are they just random coincidences, or is there something more at play? Let's explore some possible explanations. Probability and statistics. With billions of people on Earth, it's statistically likely that some will share strikingly similar features. Think of it like winning the lottery. Unlikely, but it happens. Genetic heritage and ancestry. If you go far enough back in your family tree, you might discover connections you never knew existed. Shared ancestry, even distant, can result in similar physical traits manifesting across generations. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, frequency illusion. This psychological phenomenon occurs when you notice something new and suddenly start seeing it everywhere. Once you learn about doppelgangers, you might be more attuned to spotting people who resemble others. Higher dimensions and alternate realities. Okay, this is where things get a little out there. Some theories suggest that doppelgangers are glimpses into alternate realities, parallel universes where different versions of ourselves exist. There are tales of artists who saw their doppelgangers right before a tragic accident, of writers who believed their double was stealing their ideas, or even cases where someone was mistaken for their double and accused of crimes they didn't commit. Now, what do these stories tell us? Are doppelgangers real? Are they simply a trick of the mind, a case of mistaken identity amplified by folklore and fear? Or are they something far more mysterious, a glimpse into another dimension, a warning from the universe? The truth is, we don't know. The lack of concrete evidence makes it hard to prove anything definitively, but the enduring power of the doppelganger myth speaks to a deep-seated human fascination with identity, with our place in the world, and with the possibility that there might be another version of ourselves out there, living a different life. So, have you ever encountered someone who looked exactly like you? Or maybe you've been mistaken for someone else? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next dive into the strange and unexplained. Until next time, keep looking over your shoulder. You never know who might be walking behind you.